It's time for Success in Real Estate with Frankie Griffin, owner and broker in charge of the Palmetto Success Team, certified residential specialist, accredited buyer representative, military relocation professional, real estate appraiser, and author of Success in Real Estate. If you are interested in buying or selling a home, investing in real estate, or having your home appraised, you will enjoy Success in Real Estate. Now, here's Frankie Griffin.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Success in Real Estate. I'm Frankie Griffin, and thank you for joining me this morning. Got several things, again, I want to sort of talk about. I think it would be very valuable information if you're thinking about buying or selling a house. And as always, this show is for you, and I want to encourage you, if you have any questions or comments about anything you hear or want to hear on the show, we'd love to hear from you. Just give us a call. The number here in studio is 799-TALK. Again, 799-8255. And in fact, I tell you, I've got a guest that I'm going to be bringing up here in just a second. Mr. Paul Prince, which is a flooring expert. He owns Door2Door Floors. And when I say flooring expert, I mean expert. He doesn't just sell flooring. He knows flooring. He sleeps it. He works it. He knows anything you want to know about flooring, he can tell you. And Paul, you on the line with me, buddy?
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yes, we got you now. You doing okay?
I am a certified floor nerd. Hearing you describe me, I think that's how I describe myself. I can bore my wife with my knowledge of flooring.
Well, I got to tell you, you've done a lot for me, so I can speak from experience. And if you, as a listener, have any questions about any flooring or flooring issues you have or questions, give me a call while we've got the expert on the line. Again, the number here in studio is 799-8255. 799-8255. Are you outside, Paul?
Frankie, I am driving to Augusta to pick up some flooring that did not arrive on a truck this morning that we've got to install for a customer tomorrow. And hopefully the raindrops are not too loud on my windshield, but I'm driving hands-free here.
Where are you?
I am on I-20 heading to Augusta
you must
to pick up some flooring.
Must be out of town.
Service.
Well, we're supposed to get a lot of rain, so you better keep it dry.
I'm driving into it.
Well, I got to tell you, you've done some carpeting, flooring, put carpet in anyway, in some properties that I have, and you've also installed carpet recently at our school. So you don't just do residential; you also do commercial.
That's correct, Frankie. We obviously there are more homes out there than there are commercial properties, but we do a reasonable amount of commercial work in addition to taking care of people's homes. We do some work out at Fort Jackson. We do small dentist offices, little things like that, little doctor's offices, whatever, law office, wherever you need some carpet and flooring, we do it.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, because this seems to be the question I get a lot, even from clients that are looking at selling their home and feel like they need to get their... Boy, it is pouring down, it sounds like.
Actually, that's just road noise.
Good grief.
Sorry.
I was going to say, I hope you're okay. You don't get in trouble.
I'm good.
All right. But when it comes to cleaning carpet, I know a lot of carpet cleaners use various products. Some use water extraction and others use other things. What do you recommend, or is there a better way to do it than another way?
Frankie, it used to be that the only thing you could do from a carpet manufacturer warranty standpoint was to hire a professional carpet cleaner that used a warm water extraction, truck-mounted, fan-mounted method. The manufacturers have loosened up the rules a little bit, and they will allow the homeowners to rent rug doctor machines from the grocery store. They'll also, there's some relatively high-quality carpet cleaning machines that people own now, and the biggest issue now is the manufacturer just wants to know if you have regularly maintained, and if you can show a track record of having regularly cleaned your carpet, then your carpet stain warranties will be in effect. So they're a lot easier to deal with now, and I think the technology's changed where people own some reasonably high-performance carpet cleaning machines that were once not cost-effective and available for homeowner use. Even carpet dry cleaning is acceptable, but the best method is warm water extraction.
Well, there you go. There's the answer. And in the time we've got left in this segment, Paul, I did want you to talk a little bit about, because you got some big news coming up. We got about 2.5 or 3 minutes left, but you got some big news for this station here on The Point, don't you?
I do. Thanks to you for talking me into this. So all the listeners out there know who to blame. You encouraged me to do a home improvement radio show, and Kevin Cohen and I and you have spoken, and the goal was to try to start this on February 4th. Obviously, I wasn't ready then, but we will be launching a new show on March 4th called Your Castle with Paul Prince, and it'll be not just a home improvement show, but a home enjoyment show. We're going to talk about some contractors that you can use. We're going to talk about the best way to hire contractors, things that you need to look out for, and things that you need to look for. So it'll be very interesting, and we're going to talk about some health-related issues regarding the home. Should be very interesting listening, and I do have some experience beyond just flooring. I grew up working at a hardware store, so I know a fair amount, but it's not going to be just a do-it-yourself show. It's going to be a do-it-for-me show, too, if you don't like to do stuff yourself.
Well,
it'll be interesting.
Well, that's awesome. And what day of the week is your show going to be on?
It'll be on Tuesday mornings from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Tuesday on 95.9 The Point.
Hey,
right where you are.
I tell you what, I am so looking forward to it, and of course I've known you for a long time now, so I know what an incredible job you're going to do. Good information, and if anybody wants to get in touch with Paul, what's your website, Paul?
Well, my company's website is Door2DoorFloors.com. They can email me at paul@Door2DoorFloors.com. And that's just spelled out. And we will have a Your Castle website that we're working on right now for the radio show as well, but probably going to launch that a few weeks after the show starts. But look forward to it about a week and a half out from debuting our new radio show.
Well, Paul, that's awesome, and getting ready to take our break, but you be careful out there, okay?
Thank you. Have a great weekend, Frankie.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good one.
Bye.
All right. That was Paul Prince. He owns Door2Door Floors, and he's going to be starting his radio show on Tuesday, March the 4th.
And now, the Mortgage Update with Erica Hill West on Success in Real Estate.
Good morning again. Welcome back to Success in Real Estate. I'm Frankie Griffin. Want to open up the phone lines if you have any questions. We'd love to hear from you. Answer any questions you have, or just take some comments if you got any. But the number here in the studio is 799-8255. 799-8255. And now with me is Erica Hill West, mortgage consultant with Mortgage Network. Does such an awesome job. How you doing, Erica?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Oh, I am so fine today.
You are always fine. You always have the best outlook in life.
Well, might as well.
I know, right?
Might as well. But I know you. It was glad you could be with me this week, because last week it was rather miserable for you, I understand.
I know. It was rough. It was rough being in the Bahamas. I'm sorry.
And I think I told everybody you were snowed in and couldn't call or something like that.
Yeah, well, kind of.
And here I was. We were all feeling sorry for you.
I know.
But anyway, excuse me, you've got a lot of stuff going. I know you're busy from being out of town for so long. But what's going on in the mortgage industry, or what can you tell us that would be helpful in our next deal?
There are a couple things I was thinking about that I could share with the public just to let them know what's going on.
Yeah.
The first is that we, Mortgage Network, is just rolling out a new product, and it is a rehabilitation product that is for primary residence, second homes, and investment properties, which is huge.
Yeah.
Because typically everybody has the 203K loan, but as we all know, that's an FHA product, and it has to be for a primary residence.
Yep.
So this is good news for anybody out there who wants to buy a home for a student that's going to university and they want to do some repairs to fix it up, or for any investors that are looking at buying properties and renovating them. The other good news is that the minimum credit score for that is a 620.
Really?
So, yeah.
Good grief. I mean, and I've been hearing how hard it is to get money and qualify for a loan.
There's always different caveats. We say minimum credit score requirement for the program is a 620. However, all files have to go through an automated underwriting system. If that file is run through the automated underwriting system and is given an ineligible, then obviously we can't do it. Typically, it's if you have excessive collections, if every single credit line that you have open, you're either past due on, late, delinquent, obviously that's going to affect whether you're eligible or not. We're talking about 620s, people that have good credit, just don't have excessive credit, which you run in a lot with investors who like to keep all of their investments liquid. They're not living off of credit. They don't have a lot of credit. Those are the reasons why you can go down to 620. People that have credit history that is bad credit history, which is determining a 620, we might have to tweak some things, but I'm willing to do that. And the other thing is I want to tell people is just because you can't buy right now doesn't mean it's not worth fighting for. If you call in and you can figure out a way to improve your credit, it's definitely something that you should commit to. And here at Mortgage Network, we enjoy working with clients that are not there yet. And we want to set you up on a plan and a program to get you there.
Yeah.
And we do that because it's really, really important for us in our industry to track pull-through. I think so often, or at least for the past 3 years, business has been so good that everybody has kind of been focusing on all the good, excellent clients, and all the ones that really could have at this point been ready to buy kind of fell by the wayside. So we'd really like to work with agents with working on pull-through, people that weren't quite there 6 months ago. Let's call them, let's see where they are, and let's get them in a house.
Well, and you're certainly the one to go to, but it just seems like a lot of people today, for one reason or another, are suffering from credit issues.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean they're bad people, or it's just they went through a bad time.
And I think that's the most important thing is, as a loan officer, if you're working with people that have less than perfect credit, making sure that after you get off the phone with them that they realize that they are not their credit score. That most everybody that has some bad credit has gone through some extenuating circumstances that have prevented them from keeping on track and keeping that good credit score. And so it's really, really important that we encourage them that, unfortunately, probably about 70% of the people that I talk to on a daily basis are not ready to buy just yet. It's not a no, it's a not right now.
Yeah.
So it is hard and it can be discouraging, but it's all the way the loan officer presents the situation to the potential buyer.
So you do a lot of credit restoration help, don't you?
Yes. And I think it's important because especially people that come to me and they're like, I just need help. Mm-hmm. I don't know what to do. Obviously I can see that they've tried to get qualified with maybe 2 or 3 other lenders, and they don't know why they don't qualify. They may have had an inclination that their credit score is not where it needs to be, but they don't know what they can do to improve their credit. And that's very important, that those of us that are in the industry to pass on that knowledge of how to improve your credit score. There's some really easy tips, and I'll give a brief scenario. Make sure that if you have revolving, which is credit cards revolving accounts, try to keep the reporting balance to 30% or less of your limit. So if your limit is $100 on your credit card, try to keep your balance to no more than $30. That will help improve your credit score. Obviously, making your payments on time. If you don't have a revolving account, you need to get one. And people, they hate when I say that, Frankie, because they're not understanding. I'm not saying go out and get in debt.
Yeah.
I'm saying we need to establish a revolving credit history to improve your credit score.
Yeah.
And so that's.
Well, I was just going to say real quick, and a lot of times, and I've heard you tell me this if I'm not mistaken, but if you have no credit, that's worse than bad credit.
For the point, for the purpose of a mortgage, just because it's, we're trying to, especially with these new rules that came out January 10th, as loan officers and as mortgage companies, it's our job now to prove the borrower's ability to repay the mortgage. Without a credit history or a 3-month credit history, it's hard to determine if that borrower is able to handle the new debt of a mortgage.
Right.
So establishing a longer credit history with multiple open lines is now very, very important, because that's what the mortgage company is using to provide that we are following with the abilities to repay federal guidelines that have now been put on us. So if you have someone that has no credit, we're starting kind of from ground one. Now, there are some cases where we can look at rent if they've been renting for 4 or 5 years, and that helps to indicate that they're able to handle and repay debt.
Okay.
But since credit reporting is so important in our country, it is important that if you have no open credit, that you need to start building a credit file.
Yeah. Well, Miss Erica, we're about out of time in this segment, but as always, very valuable information. And how can we get in touch with you if we want to apply for a loan or refinance or need some money?
Sure. You can call me on my cell phone. It's 803-528-5019. You can email me at ewest@mortgagenetwork.com, or you can go to Facebook and search for the Mortgage Go-To Gal. You can send me a message through there. And please, once you go there, like my page. There's all sorts of helpful information about the real estate industry and the mortgage industry and what's going on with the market. And if you ever want to see anything in particular on there, please send me a message, and we'll do our best to try to get the information out there that the consumer wants.
All righty. Well, I appreciate it. And we're so glad you safely came home from the Bahamas. I know it was miserable.
I'm here.
But hope you have a great weekend, my dear.
Thank you, Frankie.
All righty. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Again, that was Erica West with Mortgage Network. And if you couldn't capture her information or write it down, maybe writing down the road, you can certainly go to my website. I would encourage you to do that. It's frankiegriffin.com, www.frankiegriffin.com. A lot of information there. I'd love for you to look at it, but then you'll see a link that just called Real Estate Partners, and that's where you'll find all of our partners.
Now, the real estate horror story with Andy Aun on Success in Real Estate.
Well, I tell you what, anytime you hear this music, you always immediately think Andy Aun. Horrifying music. Andy, are you on the phone? How you doing, brother? Andy.
Hello.
There you are. You doing okay?
Hey, sorry about that.
That's fine.
I'm in this storm.
Storm?
And I was trying to switch my phone. As you know, I'm not very tech savvy. So if it's not carbon paper or 8-track tape player or a bag phone, you need to get somebody else involved,
I certainly understand. Well, Andy Aun, he's our attorney, helps me an awful lot with real estate because he does so much of that. But you do a lot of other stuff, trial work and things of that nature.
Yeah, if I had to put a brief description on it, we're probably a general practice with an emphasis on trial work. Probably 70% of my practice, Frankie, is trial related, litigation, mostly personal injury, auto accident, death actions, med mal, and product defect type cases, and then the rest of my practice, the other 30%, is a lot of real estate, and then my law partner does an awful lot of family law, domestic, divorce, stuff like that. So,
and where's your office located, Andy?
Our main office is in the Irmo, Columbia area, 690 Columbiana Drive. If you know where Columbiana Mall is,
yeah,
we're on that main strip. Coming down toward Lake Murray Boulevard. We're actually at the corner of Lake Murray Boulevard and Columbiana Drive. We built that building a few years ago, and it's been a great location for us, particularly with the hospital coming up down the road. So it's a great area for us, but we're fortunate and really excited about this year, Frankie, because we're celebrating our 10th anniversary. And
Wow.
so we are actually opening a Lexington office, and that will come out in March.
Well,
So just a few days, we're going to be rolling out our Lexington office and hope to have the grand opening sometime in early April. So I'll let you know about that.
well, oh, yeah, that's awesome. And you do have an office in the Northeast, is that right?
Got a small office in the Northeast, a small office in Chapin, and a small little office in Myrtle Beach, because we've got some clients in the Myrtle Beach area that we also, see relatively frequently. So we wanted to make trying to turn busy into money. You know how that goes, right?
Well, what kind of horror you got for us today?
There was a case. There was a closing that we were involved with. That the sellers were selling a piece of property, and they were selling through owner financing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The contract was drawn up by the agent, who is a very good agent and a seasoned agent, good friend and good client of mine. But when he drew the contract up, he did not specify the type of owner financing. In fact, the owner financing that was going to be used, or what was contemplated by the seller, was a real estate installment agreement, which essentially is like for the listeners out there who are familiar with the term bond for title or contract for deed or land contract. These are terms that are oftentimes used interchangeably with what we call a real estate installment agreement, which is essentially a form of owner financing.
Sure.
And instead of in the real estate installment agreement context, though, one of the key differences is the deed is not conveyed. The title is not conveyed to the party at the close or at the signing of the contract. It is only conveyed after all the payments are made. Mm-hmm. Okay? So the conventional kind of owner financing is when, let's say you were selling your home to me and you were going to finance it for me. You would do a note and mortgage, but you would deed the property to me. So I would have ownership of the property subject to a note and mortgage, just like most of us have with the mortgages on our homes. Okay?
Right.
Well, that was something that was not contemplated by the buyers, and this thing got really messy really quickly. When we started trying to finalize the negotiation on the contract, it turned out that the buyers were not willing to purchase the property with that type of owner financing. Now, I found it a little difficult to believe, because one of the reasons that they were doing this was because of some credit issues. Some of the stuff you guys talked about earlier with Erica were credit issues, and so they were trying to still get into the home, still be able to gain maybe some potential equity interest in the home, but at the same time not have to go through the hassle of waiting for a bank to turn them down. They could go ahead and start making payments and potentially use those payments as part of the credit history, so that they could ultimately get qualified. But this thing got really nasty. So the takeaway from this, Frankie, for your listeners out there, for buyers, sellers, and real estate professionals that may be listening, is just because in the standard real estate contract it has an other section and gives you the ability to check owner financing or write in owner financing, that's not enough, okay? You need to make sure you specify the type of owner financing. And I'll even go so far as to say, real estate installment agreement, title not conveyed. Yep. Something to that effect, so that the parties are made aware of these issues, and so costs are not expended on inspections and appraisals and any number of any other due diligence type things that are done. You want to make sure that you avoid those costs if you can by making sure that everybody's singing off the same page. So.
Well,
that was something I wanted to talk with you guys about today. We're going to be having a seminar in the next couple of months on owner financing options, and we've got our tutor and tour coming up next week. It's going to be in the Northeast, and it's going to be on government loans, FDA loans, FHA loans, USDA loans. So all the government loans. Or I meant VA loans, not FDA loans. VA loans, USDA, and FHA. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be having that seminar next week. It'll be next Thursday, Start up around 5:30, end around 7. Food and drinks as always. And you can get some information from my office at 744-0824. We are asking people to call in and to RSVP. We had standing room only the last one. So we'd love to have you guys call Taylor in my office, 744-0824, and RSVP for that seminar.
It's as always. I know it's going to be awesome because it always is. And these seminars, these are open to anybody that's just
open to anybody. And in fact, we're getting more and more investor type folks coming that are trying to get into the real estate business before the market just becomes a seller's market all over again. We're getting folks that are in the market to buy and sell. Mm-hmm. It was so funny. One time we had a couple of buyers come in, and we had a room full of agents. They came in because they wanted to preview the property that we were in. Because part of the issue is it's tutor and tour, so you're touring the property as well. So it's kind of like a glorified open house. But there's a substantive discussion about some really critical issues that's taking place as well, and a lot of fun and fellowship too. But it was funny. It was like bringing two sheep into a den of lions. Because all these agents, all these A+ personalities were sitting around. Hey, let me hook up. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, I'm sure it is, and this is a free event as always.
Absolutely, absolutely,
and includes food and drinks. So
food and drinks, and hopefully you get something from it, and we're excited about being able to do this for the community.
Well, Andy, I can't thank you enough for calling in.
Frankie, thanks so much. Before I get off the line, I know my time is limited here, but I also wanted to remind folks about the Know and Grow that the South Carolina the Sales and Marketing Council of the HBA, the Home Builders Association, is putting on. So if you're interested in some information, call us on that too.
We'll do it. Andy, thank you so much, buddy. The number to call, 799-8255, 799-8255. We'd love to talk to you. In fact, right now on the phone line, we've got John. How you doing, John?
Hey, how you doing?
This is such a fine day today.
Yes, it is.
What's going on with you?
Got a question for you. Maybe you got a little expertise or a little knowledge on rental properties.
Okay.
Have you dealt with that much, or?
Quite a bit.
Okay, great. If I'm renting an apartment, let's say, and that apartment heat goes out, okay? Mm-hmm. What are the obligations of the landlord as far as repairing the heat or getting you heat, or
well, John,
what happens in a situation like that?
Well, John, that's a good question. And if you're talking about heat, that's considered an essential service under the Landlord and Tenant Act. And the short answer is your landlord has to make those repairs, and they have to make it as soon as possible. And if for some reason they don't, then the way the Landlord and Tenant Act reads, you could actually, as the tenant yourself, again, because this is an essential service, and I want to stress this because what I'm about to say does not apply for anything other than essential services.
Right.
But you could actually call a heating and air company to come out and make the repairs to get your heat back on if it's the result of the landlord's noncompliance.
Okay, well, let me give you this scenario because it happened recently, okay?
Okay.
The heat goes out. The temperature goes down to 16 degrees back in late, December, early January, whenever we got that cold front.
Last week, I think it was.
Yeah, well, yeah. But anyway, but this is pretty serious, okay?
Sure. Yeah, I bet.
So you're waking up with icicles off the tip of your nose, and you got no heat. You inform the landlord you've got no heat, okay?
Right.
They say, okay, a week goes by, no heat. 2 weeks go by, no heat. A guy comes out, takes a look at the unit, which is old, and says, hey, this is an old, outdated unit. We need to wait on some parts on this thing. It might be another week or so, So we've ordered the parts. They're on your way. So, after a week, third week, you go, hey, you said the parts are on the way. What's the tracking number? Oh, I don't have a tracking number for the parts. We have to order direct from carrier or some. So anyway, you're getting a snow job. This ain't my first rodeo, so I'm getting the point. The point is I'm out of heat for 3 weeks. Someone told me, like, you could go to a magistrate or something, or are you just on your own to sink or swim?
Well, your options are this, John. I mean, you can, I was saying earlier, you could call and have somebody come out and do the repairs. But if you go this route, if you make that call, then you're going to have to be able to pay whatever it costs to make the repair.
Right.
But then the law does allow you to deduct that amount from your rent. But
right.
The point is, you can't just make the call and then tell the heating and air company to bill the landlord. You can't do that.
I got that. Okay.
Now the other option you got is, yes, you can go to court and then you can have the magistrate force the landlord to comply. And there are damages that can be and will likely be awarded to you.
Okay, now that was the point. Someone told me about that you can receive additional damages or rewards and damages. But then when I called the magistrate's office, they were like, she never heard of anything like that, and just said that you just have to get out and just deal with your landlord.
Well, I don't know.
I got conflicting.
Yeah, I don't know who you were talking to there, but
that to be the case, that you could actually go to the magistrate and say, hey, I've been out of heat for a couple of weeks, and the guy go, okay, here, landlord, you got to pay this guy's a motel room or something, or something until you get this thing straight. Is that about basically the scenario?
Well, there's always circumstances that dictate other circumstances, and
right.
and I'm just sort of speaking from a broad sense. But,
okay.
But yeah, your options are to either have it fixed yourself, and then you can deduct that from your rent, or you can go to court and force the landlord to comply with the terms of the lease.
Okay.
So I'm not sure who you might have talked to at the magistrate's office, and I don't. Maybe it was an administrative person that maybe.
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, you know what I mean. I called up, said, "What's this about?" And it was the one on Richland Street.
Okay.
Or right off of Richland Street. But anyway, so it's over now. But I got a nice little education in it.
Well, in those things are tough, especially when it's cold outside. That's for sure.
Got that right. Well, thank you very much for your insight.
Well, I appreciate you calling in. Hope you have a great weekend.
You too. Bye.
All righty. And if you have any questions, we got a couple minutes left, so you can hurry one in. 799-8255. Again, 799-8255. And in the little bit of time we've got left, I do want to encourage you. Visit my website. I've got an awful lot of information out there right now on my website. A lot of pages, hopefully, to help you in your home buying or home selling process. Just go to frankiegriffin.com. Again, www.frankiegriffin.com. And there you'll find I think an incredible amount of information, and love for you to go check it out, and love to help you if you are in the process of buying or thinking about buying a house or selling a house. Love to come out and meet with you, talk to you, to see exactly what we can do and how we go about doing it. Some other things that I will tell you you'll find on our show on my website. Jerry Bilton, he's my videographer. He's here in studio. He videos pretty much all of our radio shows. So if you miss a show, you can certainly go on my website and watch the show edited, which means there'll be no commercials. So I think you'll find that very useful. So a lot of good stuff there, and hope you'll enjoy it. We also have a Facebook page. The name of my brokerage company is Palmetto Success Palmetto Success Team. Love for you to go on there and like us. But anyway, our time's up. Hope you have a great weekend. You've been listening to Success in Real Estate on The Point.